You're listening to the Big Chuck Podcast, brought to you by Venue Media.
I'm about to go live here. Okay. Welcome to another episode of the Big Chuck Podcast, man. I'm your host, Big Chuck, the landlord. Landlord. And I have my guest, basically my co-host. She's always here. Speak up and tell them who you are.
What's up, y'all? I forget where I'm supposed to look at the camera, right?
You can look anywhere you want.
It's been. What's up, y'all? How you doing, Big Chuck?
Yeah, I'm good. How you been?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
We was talking earlier about oh man, like I said, I gotta get this off my heart, man. This. Can you let me know if anybody's in there about questioning what I'm about to say, and then I'll read it up. But the Breonna Taylor, man, was I mean, we know what happened. You know what I'm saying? 26 years old, a no-knock warrant. She was killed. Her boyfriend shot at the cop, injured the cop. He didn't get killed.
Her boyfriend shot at the floor.
Yeah, no, he hit the cop. The cop, yeah, he got it. Yeah, but they say he shot at him because he shot. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. Even though it was a legal weapon, he had the right to have the weapon on it. Everything was legal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was a no-knock warrant. So, go to court. Two of the three get off. One gets what was it? Wanted. What was it called? It was called something like that. Wanted endangerment. It was wanted endangerment.
In layman's terms, he shot at the wall, and on the other side of the wall could have been other people.
Yeah.
So that was more important than actually shooting an actual person.
Yeah.
For which they did and murder.
Yeah. So the charge is basically like, I mean, if you black, you've been at a club and somebody starts shooting in the air. That's basically the charge he got.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know everybody's in uprest. People are acting out, you know what I'm saying, and doing what they do, you know what I'm saying? Everything should be peaceful. But at the same time, I mean,
I'm trying to figure out, what does America expect to happen?
Yeah.
I love the breed pit bull, right?
Okay.
And I remember back in the day how it used to be kind of be a cool thing to like try to purchase pit bull. This was back in the day. I'm not into that now. This is DMX, dogs, like the whole dog fighting thing. Like, people were actually doing it. And I remember, what changed my mind was when I saw a dog have no choice, because you can't shut it in the paws and not feeding and not housing it properly and beating it. And then it turned. It started to fight back. What do you expect us to do?
Exactly.
They keep taking our kids.
Exactly.
They keep taking just our people, period. All ages. They obviously don't have a thought about, either age.
Exactly.
I have grandsons that I don't let play with toy guns in my yard.
Okay, yeah, that was me. But like I said, I mean, just to my point is, people know basically the crust of me. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you come from and it's bad to say, but we come from violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, violence is easy to the people that I've been around. You understand what I'm saying? Not trying to say that it's something that, and I don't want that to happen. Like, I was at a meeting probably over a month ago, and I was telling, it was whites, blacks, it was some reverends there, it was some Muslims there, all men, and we was talking about it. And my whole thing to them is, I'm scared, because I know it's going to get to the point, especially nowadays, somebody going to press go. And when they press go, them boys ain't going to stop.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that you have to even be in fear of that. I hate that you can't just get up every day and just be you, be Big Chuck. That's all this movement is asking for, is just look at us as people.
That's it.
People, period. Don't be colorblind, because that's a sad thing too. If you can't see color, all the shades that make us beautiful, then you're missing out. But that doesn't define who you are. It's this stigma that has been placed upon our people, out of their own fear. Look, did you see the Cat Williams thing? He did a commercial or a long but it was like a little bit of stand up, kind of like, and he said something in there that really resonated with this whole situation. Is just like, when are we going to get to a point where where we're just done, where everybody's just done? You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I took from that whole situation, was where are we going to get to a point where we're all just done? There's too much mixture in our country for it to be like this. At the end of the day, we're all straight up human beings, period, point blank. That's however hue you come. And your experiences, of course, are going to be different, but that's what makes you unique. That's what makes me want to get to know you.
Exactly.
And understand you. That's what we need as humans. They're treating us like animals, and that is all of us.
Exactly.
And white people are seriously getting duped in the deal too.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
I think the biggest lie white people were told was that y'all ain't no better than black folk, because they could be as poor as we are.
Exactly.
But they ain't black, and they were fed that BS.
Exactly.
And I feel sorry for them.
Exactly.
For that, they were duped too.
Exactly.
By the elite.
Exactly. But that's like a couple weeks ago. I had a show about the N-word, and I brought that up.
Right.
That's why the white people that you feel were duped, that I know that's duped, that's low class. You know what I'm saying? Like they call them what they call the white trash. The ones that was duped, yeah. They call white trash. They have something that we don't have that holds us back, and that's that N-word. Like, they know when they say that, they have some type of control. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I brought that up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what's going on. But I mean, I just think that everybody just need to either we gonna get it one way or we gonna get it another when it come to the Breonna Taylor stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I will be the first to say, do not condone violence in any way, shape, or form. I don't want anybody getting hurt. But again, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Some people are at that point.
Yeah.
Some people that have been begging for this longer than we've been on this earth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've only been here 42 years.
Yeah.
You know, I was here in 78. That means that the civil rights movement was done in like the 60s. That wasn't too much more than my mother being born in 1960.
Exactly.
Like, it's not that far of a difference. It's not a lot of time.
Exactly. It's just with me, like, the reason I get on this situation and I talk about this situation, because it's not even the color no more. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying before, I was talking to this lady, and we was down in Baltimore, and the guy had on a Black Lives Matter shirt. So the older Caucasian lady said, "Blue lives matter," and I was like, "Bitch, I ain't never met a blue person." Like, I've never met nobody blue. Just say police lives matter. Like, don't say blue lives, because that's an insult. You understand? That's how I felt, and I was talking to her. But then when I was talking to her about that situation, just the Breonna Taylors, okay, I know people that's police officers. You know what I'm saying? I know about training. Somebody stop me if you think I'm, you know what I'm saying, if you heard different. Okay, in training, if a cop responds to something, a warrant, and they're being shot upon, their job is to return fire. You know what I'm saying? But their job is to kill. They're not taught to maim.
You're absolutely correct.
Their training is not to maim.
They are to shoot to kill.
Yes. First set of shots are supposed to be to the chest, go up to the head, then return to the center mass. That's how they're trained to shoot. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, no knock, bang, you come in, the guy shoots at you, he don't get hit. You hit somebody in the bed, and then you hit a wall. but you were trained to kill. So if I'm at a range shooting, if any of y'all ever been to a range, when you go to a range, you're shooting down.
Guns.
Okay, you're shooting down range. I'm cool with guns.
I'm cool. It's your right to have them. It just ain't my thing.
All right, but just when you shooting down the range, you're in like a booth like this. So you got your gun, you're aimed in. You understand what I'm saying? You can put it at 15, 30, or beyond.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand it, yes.
And it's shaped like a person, or it can be shaped like Bin Laden.
It's
or
a target.
Exactly, a target. So if I'm training to shoot, I'm shooting center mass. That
Right.
would be here.
Right.
Then my next 2 shots has to go up to the head.
Right.
Then my next 2 got to come down. So if I'm training, constantly shooting, how did that man get hit?
I have no idea.
That's the question I'm asking. How don't you hit the person that's shooting at you? If you're trained to kill, kill her, kill the person that's shooting at you.
This might not be a popular opinion about this, but taking the race out of it,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at it as it was excessive.
Exactly.
It was excessive.
Exactly.
And it was fear driven.
Exactly.
Because I think that the body cam stuff just came out like a little bit ago.
A little
I
bit,
haven't
pieces.
even been able to see it yet.
Yeah,
but,
bits and pieces.
I honestly think that it was fear driven. It was just fear driven.
Okay.
I think that you could be trained to do something, but until you're put into that situation, how you're really going to affect it. Training and, actual training, you're not killing something. This one you are. And yes, you are trained they're trained to shoot to kill. Period.
Exactly.
Point blank.
Period.
That's why but I think that where I'm having a problem with is the no knock. I have a problem with it being a no knock. I have a problem with them not saying police. We watch enough movies. They do it enough in the movies. Police. They come in with the heat though, but they screaming at the front door. Police. Didn't they even offer that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's where I think race also plays. That's where you can start putting a little bit of the race back into it, because I think it's her neighborhood. I think it's her black boyfriend whom they were looking for. It wasn't even the dude that was in the bed. You know what I'm saying? So, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He shot at the floor.
Exactly.
He did not shoot to kill. He shot to warn. Because he didn't know that he had how many 4? It was 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
Come through the door. He didn't know how many. You don't know. You're in bed.
Exactly.
Dear God, God bless him, because he's still with us. He's still going. Can you imagine the trauma that young man is? Man, somebody got pray for him, y'all. Pray for him. Pray for her family. This is just ridiculous.
With that being said, I'm gonna get off that topic. We can bring that topic up more than, you know what I'm saying. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I wanted to say the stuff about and if I got any police officers, because I know some, they already called me. But if you got something to say, go ahead and DM me, or you can call my phone 240-527-0345. I answer whatever I gotta say, or I say my opinion. But the last thing you were saying, I want to transition into something.
Right.
Like, okay, I have 2 black women in the studio, right? And my question to y'all is, do y'all feel safe? Like, he was protecting his queen in his mind. You understand what I'm saying? Like, somebody breaking the door, he don't know if it's the cops or whoever, whatever. He's protecting them, because on social media, it's been stuff going around that the black woman is the most disrespected thing on earth, is what they're saying.
That's what Malcolm X said. You're paraphrasing, but that's what Malcolm X said.
But I'm just saying that's what's coming up on social media now about that. You know what I'm saying? That it keeps
because
showing.
It's true.
Exactly, keep showing. So that's why I wanted to transition into that. Like, okay, do y'all really feel that the black woman is the most disrespected thing in America, on earth?
I don't. There's layers to that. Now, if you mean systematically, yes.
Okay.
Because we have it twofold. we're a woman and we're black.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sure that sisters that are darker than I am may have had harder struggles than I did with what I've called, or what I've heard be called, light privilege. You know what I'm saying? But I still had discrimination for, who I was. It was my ethnicity, or not knowing who I am, or you're exotic, or you're, I was never just Holly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be Big Chuck. But as a woman, you also have this, I don't want to say sick. I didn't want that to come out of my mouth. I didn't want to say stigma, but because being a woman is not a stigma, but you have that too. We only got our rights not that long ago as well. Look it up in the history books. I'm going to get the year wrong, but I know it was in the early 1900s, like the 19 teens. You know what I'm saying? Like when women got the right to vote in this country. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And even to this day, we still don't get paid, women don't get paid an equal amount of pay to men, and black women even get less.
Yeah, 66. Yeah. I think white women is 81 cents and black women is 66 cents.
I mean, if you even want to really break it down to like the sex trafficking trade, it's a lot more black children that are missing within this trade than there are of any other race, and they're not being as televised or as put out in the public as they should be. Please don't take that I'm saying I want one child to come more than another, but like we would hear about a young white child a lot faster. Exactly. And it would make national news. Okay. I know more now about children missing because of Facebook and stuff like social media. That has definitely changed things. Yeah. But yeah, I think that I'm not now, as far as like, do I feel protected in my relationship with my man? Like if somebody came through the door, yes, I don't have a gun, so I'm not looking at it that way, but I'm hoping that I'm not doing anything that would make anybody come through there. It would have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid they come to the wrong house and I just get shot, or my husband gets shot because they was at the wrong place anyway. The dude was locked up that they was coming for. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So they shouldn't even have been there anyway. True. But I think that her being a black woman halted a lot of this case. Okay.
So, I mean, where I'm coming at it is like not basically you, but basically like how you, like me, the women in my life, you know what I'm saying? I was raised by a strong black woman, you know what I'm saying? Both of my grandmothers were strong black women. You know what I'm saying? I deal with a strong black woman. You know what I'm saying? My neighborhood, when I was being raised, it took a neighborhood to raise you. It wasn't, my mom would find out, we ain't had social media, but my mom would know before I got home that I was doing something wrong because the neighborhood took care of each other.
Well, that's because the saying, it takes a village actually did happen in our communities. We actually looked out for each other. We don't do that shit no more.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like back then, I don't think that if it was social media, I don't think that would be the topic because of what's going on. Like, okay, black women don't feel protected. You know what I'm saying? But maybe now, like sitting there looking back, I might understand where they coming from, because I don't see more people about themselves than us. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was coming up, if I made it and you didn't make it, I ain't shit for real. Cause how am I eating steak and you still eating Vienna sausages, and I call you my sister? You know what I'm saying? We slept head to foot. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have air conditioner. We had the little fan stuck in the window that was blowing. It'd be 90 degrees outside. My uncle head up top, my feet near him. I'm laying in the bed with him. No homo. But that's how you know what I'm saying? That's how we was raised. Head to foot. You know what I'm saying? We had that bond. So it wasn't nothing about and like I said, no homo. It wasn't nothing about my uncle I didn't know. Like it wasn't nothing about, you know what I'm saying? Like
families are different now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the dynamics, just to break it down, like coming up. Back then, you know what I'm saying? Like now, and I ain't even trying to be funny, like, you know how many times I walked in on my motherfucking sister or cousin shitting or taking a shower and didn't give a fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, like no, not even trying to be funny, you know what I'm saying? But it is funny.
It is funny.
Like the first
It's
set of
funny because it's true.
the first set of titties I seen was my aunt's. That I remember.
I don't even know where we got here.
But I'm just saying. No, I'm just talking about how this shit go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He said titties.
we was raised different. We was raised. A family was a family. You know what I'm saying? I knew everything that I was supposed to know about my sister. I knew everything that I was supposed to. And I'm talking about looks, everything about them. You know what I'm saying? There was no funny shit. So my sister knew she was protected. Like, if somebody said something to my sister, I got a call. Not only was I there, my uncles was there, my cousins was there. Listen, it was a no-brainer. They already knew, hey, don't fuck with Missy because damn, her motherfucking, she's strong. She was the only girl. They already know you do something to her, we coming. We coming to the school. We coming to the parking lot, the playground. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe back then, no, I don't think that. But now.
Well, now they coming with guns. So I'm not going to the parking lot and to the playground. I mean, people killing each other out here.
But it ain't for the.
Talk about that too.
But it's not for the value of that. It's for a different. They're doing it for the. I think they clout chasing. They not doing it for the value of family to protect.
Where do you think that disconnect came from our community? Because I do understand, me and you didn't grow up in the same town, but it was, I think, with the culture, it was kind of the same thing. Like
Exactly.
everybody on my nan's block knew what was going on. Something happened. Everybody, your nan knows. Oh,
Exactly.
you're on your way up the street. Everybody knows to get a switch.
Exactly.
Everybody knows those country, kind of like, morals and values that. Where do you think that disconnected to what's going on in this generation, or what's missing that you're saying ain't missing?
I know. Basically, everyone wants to not have feelings, emotions, and I don't give a damn. So they like family ain't shit. They listen to their friends, basically. I had my cousin that be like, grandma, family ain't shit. She was like, you just listen to all your little friends who ain't got family. They don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point. But I think that's definitely a good point. But I think the disconnect came when we got something.
Social media.
Social media is just something else that
No,
you got. It was when we didn't have. We had to be a family. We didn't have. Once they gave, then everybody, okay, now I can move out. Now I take my family, we centralized. Let's say we centralized in DC. You know what I'm saying? We was born and raised in DC. My grandmother, blah, blah, blah. Okay, my uncle moved. Then my other uncle moved. Then my aunt moved. Then I get older, I move. Now we got one person in St. Louis. We got one person in California. We got one person in South Dakota. You know what I'm saying? Like you broke up the family. The family is no longer family.
I mean, but people have to go out and live their own lives too.
Yeah, you do got to live your life. But what I'm saying, if you living your life, okay, you don't come back home.
Yeah, you come back home, but that's not. But that has to be an understanding within the family. There's a lot of families that do that like have big, gigantic, family reunions at least once or twice a year, and
But is it everybody though?
I think when hard times happen, and like let's say a monarch of a family, an elder of a family passes away, if the family was broken before that, it's probably going to be shattered. Yeah. Unless there's work done, but that's between somebody got to stand up at some point and say, hey, I want all my cousins back. I want all my my aunties back. I want all somebody's got to stand up at some point and do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Know?
But I'm just like in the sense of protecting the woman.
Well,
like
yeah.
The family aspect we can talk about it. I'm just saying it's you.
But I think what. Are you talking about physically protecting a woman? You're talking about
everything, physically, mentally, everything. Like
I don't.
It's nothing. It's nothing like
I don't.
It's nothing like knowing you're okay. Like that eases a lot. Like I know. Like when I go, I come to you. When I go home, I'm good. I don't have to worry about looking over my shoulder. I'm not nervous. I'm good. That's what I'm talking about. Like. Physically, mentally, if I wanted to cry when I'm around the women in my house, I break down snot in my nose type crying, and I know I ain't gonna hear about it except on some family shit when they pull me aside. Like when I'm thinking I'm a little too hard at the family reunion, they be like, "Nigga, you wasn't saying that when you was crying over that broad," stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think, It's all dependent upon the family. It's all dependent upon the family dynamic. Families have changed. There are a lot of different. Not every family looks the same. Not every family deals with crisis or trauma. You know, it could go into so many different avenues to say. To say that why doesn't. Do you, and you don't have to say anything, but personally, do you believe that your family puts the entire family puts their women in a place where they feel protected?
I know so. Okay. I don't think shit.
Amen. That's the way it's supposed to be. But there are families out there that aren't like that. There are toxicities within families that you have to break away, that you have to make your own place, your own family, so that where they didn't feel protected because things were happening.
I had a black man. I just walked up to the post office to get my mail for my business, and here he comes. I didn't do nothing to this man, said nothing to this man, and he threatened me. And yeah, I know it's weird. So now I carry 3 knives. You take one, I got 2 more for your ass.
Wow.
So,
Lord.
Wow. So that's. I mean, that's something we ain't gonna change on this damn podcast or something like that. But that's, like I said, I don't know what the dynamic is out here, man. Like,
I think it can even go deeper than that. It can go into the family member that you don't tell on.
Yeah. We're gonna do a show on the family members things.
Well, I'm just saying it can bridge into.
It's a lot to.
If
It's
I
a lot
can
to
bring
family.
up the documentary that I saw.
That's what
on the record.
That's what I want you to bring up.
It was the documentary about the sexual abuse and rape allegations against Russell Simmons.
Russell Simmons, man.
By some very credible.
I have one more thing to say. So my aunt, she has 2 boys, mind you. She never held them accountable, and so her son was going crazy and stuff like that. He beat up his girlfriend. So if you don't teach him that he shouldn't be putting their hands on his girlfriends and stuff like that, and then he comes up and stand up to you, you're not holding him accountable.
Yeah.
So he gonna do it to you. So of course there is now he don't know. He wasn't, mind you, a little light bright. Now he thinking that he can just talk to any woman, any crazy, act up, and so in return, something happened to him because he tried to act up on someone's family member. So
that's why I said we're gonna have a show soon, like in the next couple of weeks, about the family dynamics, because I hear, everybody, well, most of the people on my show know I work at a juvenile, prison. So I deal with them, and they once they get to know me, they call me Unc. They'll pull me aside, tell me, man, look, this happened. And you know what I'm saying? You can't get to the bottom of that. I'm just trying to keep it to the topic of this. Like, you was bringing up Russell Simmons. Like, Russell Simmons, the ones we know doing from Def Comedy Jam and Run DMC and all that.
Russell Simmons is the godfather of hip hop.
Exactly.
There would not be, not saying hip hop wouldn't be what it is today without Russell Simmons. I will give him that. I will give that man his artist. But I watched this documentary, and now I got to pull it back up. I think I saved her name.
Russell Simmons now, fellas.
Yes, Russell Simmons.
Jeez.
No,
Angela.
not my godfather. I said
Angela.
the godfather of like James Brown's the godfather. So
Angela Simmons' uncle, man, sexy Angela Simmons. Go. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
your wife gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But the main story of the documentary is around Drew Dixon, who I guess it was the New Yorker, her, and I think it was about 7 people at the time. I could be wrong, but y'all look this up. You can Google it yourself. That have serious sexual assault and rape allegations against Russell Simmons while they were employed or employed dating. There's one where the young lady was like, this was back in the day, like before Crush Groove and all this, when he was just a manager in New York, and there was this DJ group DJ rap group, the very first female DJ rap group called the Mercedes Girls or something like it. Look it up. But she came on and said it, and if you watch it, you'll see his MO throughout every story of how he does things. And this was from back in like the late 70s, early 80s.
Had to be.
You know, and it was the same MO of what he was doing to women throughout the 90s and the early 2000s. In, you know, when this lady Drew Dixon, she was an A&R rep for Def Jam. That's how she knew Russell Simmons. She's also like one of the, I think, executive producers of the You're All I Need to Get By, the Method Man, Mary J. Blige. Like she's just, you know, she's credible. Like people know her. Like she was around with Biggie and Mobb Deep. Like she was, and she also has, I guess, something against L.A. Reid. And like he passed on John Legend because of her. He passed on Kanye because, like, it goes deep, but it also goes deep into how we as Black women are treated within the industry, within the culture of hip hop, within the culture itself. How we have to be, regardless of ride or die, or we're a snitch. Didn't Megan Thee Stallion get shot in the foot? And all people kept talking about was, oh man, fuck it, she didn't get shot in the foot. She shouldn't have said nothing. She shouldn't have did. No, she got shot in the foot. You know, we're going through with Breonna Taylor right now. She got murdered. Megan, and I don't even know Megan, like I couldn't say any lyric of her music, but she's a Black woman that got shot in the foot in an argument with her boyfriend. That shouldn't have happened. But the negativity that went to her, well, instead of trying to hold her up, she wasn't being a snitch, telling the dude shot me in the foot. I'm telling too.
She wasn't trying to tell at first.
I know because she and I get what when she was saying about, she worried about what's going to happen to him because the police is out here killing dudes. And let me act like nothing's wrong with me because there's a gun in the car and there's a Black dude in the car that I happen to love, even though he just shot me in the fucking foot. But the hate that she got, there was so much hate. Like, instead of, you don't have to hate dude for what he did. He fucked up. You don't have to be one side or the other. You know, you don't have to be Megan or dude. She just has to tell her truth and be like, look, he shot me in the foot. Exactly. I got shot in the pinky toe. She hit him right there. She wasn't playing. That's the way we need to be, like, stand up. And they would, what was it? The Eddie Murphy movie, Harlem Nights. When she got shot in the pinky toe,
but she ain't tell
all
them.
the old dudes still went behind. You shouldn't have shot her in the pinky toe. But they didn't put her down for it. They didn't treat her like crap. And I know that's a comedy, but this is reality. And we're not uplifting our Black women the way that we should. We're expected as Black women to just be ride or die.
That's the point that I'm trying to get at. Like,
you know,
and that's one of the aspects.
That doesn't allow, I don't believe it allows for our brothers to be accountable for when they make mistakes, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we make fucking mistakes. You know, like, no one is immune to making a mistake. But if you beating the shit out of me and then I'm getting shit from the family or whatever, why don't you stay with him? You know, he's hitting me. Y'all got kids together now. You know, that ain't right. She ain't right. Or if she goes and tells her friends, and then that gets out. Nah, I ain't hitting her. Everybody know you hitting her. Like, we will, as a community, hold that shit in, and then we be freedom. Instead of, like, why are you putting your hands on your woman? You're supposed to be uplifting her. I don't give a fuck what Jamie says. Words is words, and yes, it's going to hurt, but you put your hands on me, that's a totally different level that we should not even be at. That happens. For me, I'm hoping that I'm strong enough to go, but there are women that have that mentality because their mothers had that mentality and their grandmothers had that mentality of just take it.
So how, I mean, in that situation, I mean, and it got to be what I'm saying, like the protection. Like, what you're saying is what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Megan Thee Stallion situation. Okay, stuff happened. He did what he did, whatever happened. You know what I'm saying? The issue that I had with that whole thing was that she was riding for him And then what she was saying was that they was talking shit about her. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm
when
saying
it comes
at
to
the end of the
protection.
day, it's a bunch of words, and she got shot in the foot.
Yeah, but-
she got shot. She got maimed in her foot.
Yeah.
You know, it could have went even wronger than that.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
but
She could have died. I'm not saying that her injuries would have made her die. I'm saying something. It could have been freakier than that, and the gun turned up and somebody's dead. Like for words. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be pissed off at my husband. I can be pissed off because I'm a human being. He does dumb shit sometimes. Okay, like sometimes. But I love him too much to say I'm gonna sit here and shoot you in the foot. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? I do believe, and I want to put this out there before I go any further. There is a lot of amazing black men out there. A lot of them. I'm sitting beside one. You know, like, I know you a down to earth dude. I just know that. I know a lot of them, even in my own life as I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? But there are some that are not.
Exactly.
And instead of ignoring the fact that we're not allowing them to take accountability for what they're doing, that we're putting it back on ourselves, as a community, we got to change that. Responsibility and accountability is how we're going to be able to fix that, because then that builds trust.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't.
But that's what I'm going with about, like, we went all the way around the thing to get what I'm talking about, the protection. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, just the protection part of it. Like, okay, she got shot in the foot. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Not dumbing it down or nothing. She got shot in her foot. Okay. That was an issue between whatever. She held up her end of the bargain, is what I'm saying. As a woman, she was like, okay, it happened. She didn't tell on him. She didn't do what she needed to do. Why is he even talking about it? Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, where the disconnect is now.
Look, I don't know dude on a personal level, but he don't say I'm too bright.
But that's
I would have kept my mouth shut and not go in on the girl I shot in the foot.
But that's my point.
Instagram.
That's my point about the new breed of man. That's why I think now. But that's what I'm saying. But that's why I think it's a disconnect. Like I'm saying, the family structure is broke up, because you wouldn't be, back in my day, you wouldn't just be raised by one woman. You would be raised by the whole neighborhood.
Well, yeah,
and it's men in that neighborhood. You wouldn't be no like, if you splinter yourself because you're mad at you had a bad life coming up. Cool. You like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it on my own. You made a choice to say, I'm gonna do it on my own, so I'm gonna go far from here. So now you raising a kid or kids by yourself. Like, it's no blueprint to parenting. Every parent, the best parents fuck up. Look at Bill Cosby. He was roofing motherfuckers when he was the father of the year. He was roofing motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he took care of his kids, but if you came to the hotel with him, you was drowsy and he was running up in you. Period. Everybody has their vices. But back then, it wasn't cool to break up that. Not saying it was a good thing, because he should have been.
That was horrible.
But that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is what I'm talking about. You had public figures. Back then, Russell Simmons was a public figure. But Bill Cosby was and like I said, even in the 90s, R. Kelly. Let me bring up R. Kelly. I know motherfuckers gonna be mad. I'm gonna bring up R. Kelly. Fuck it. If y'all mad, y'all mad. Cause I still fuck with R. Kelly music. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you why I fuck. I'm gonna tell y'all why I fuck with R. Kelly music. Because back in the 90s is when I lost my mom. I was a street nigga regardless. But at that time, I felt that I ain't have nothing that I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have my mom. I did everything. Like, I played basketball, sports, because I love to look over and see her in the stands. I like to see her smile. I like to see her talk shit. That's my son. Once that wasn't there, I no longer wanted to play basketball. You understand what I'm saying? So I went to what I know. I'm in the streets. But I'm going to tell you, R. Kelly and R&B music stopped me from becoming a stone cold murderer. Because when I was in my sunken place, I put on R&B. If I'd have been listening to that rap shit, trust me, I'd probably be gone for triple, quadruple life. Because it wasn't nothing. The instinct was there. My instincts was to kill or be killed, period. But being that I had a spot where I can go where, let me go ahead and relax and think about it first. I never reacted just out of, okay, you stole my pack today. All right, fuck that. Let me go home. You know what I'm saying? I sit down, listen to some R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? My mind's telling me no. You know what I'm saying? Right there. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm cool. Sit back, drink a little bit. It calmed me down. You know what I'm saying? But I went all the way around the thing. But like R. Kelly, everybody knew what the fuck R. Kelly was doing in the 90s. You already know the nigga was a pedophile. We knew it. But nobody
didn't know.
Yes, he married Aaliyah. How you ain't know that?
We did. First and foremost,
we did know.
First and foremost,
we did know.
At the time, Aaliyah lied about her age. Everybody thought that she was of age. That came out.
Y'all thought she was of age. We knew Aaliyah was young.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 46.
Okay, you're a little bit older than me. I'm 42. I didn't mean it like that, but I mean where I was in my life.
Young, man.
I'm gonna tell you something. Look, I'll give you this. I hate to say it. If R. Kelly came back in the 90s, I'm not going to lie. If R. Kelly, as much as, look,
thank you.
I wanted to be I'm going to put, no, but listen to me. I'm going to put it to you like this. I'm thinking in my 14, 15-year-old mind back then, I wanted to be a singer. If I met R. Kelly or anybody in the music industry at that time and they wanted to get it, they probably could have.
But that's my point.
But wait a minute. I think the difference in this is that I think that there was manipulation.
On both sides. It was both sides because you want what you want.
But how are you manipulating a child?
But you want what you want. You put yourself in that position.
But you're the adult. You shouldn't even be putting a child in that situation.
Somebody put the child in the position. How'd she get there? How did the child get there?
He is still the adult.
All right, but how did the child get there?
And they're adults. All the adults in the room was fucked up. Look, I'm telling you, because I'm not talking about me as a 42-year-old woman. I tried to put myself in a 14, 15-year-old mind. The naivete at the time, especially for the fact that I wanted to be a singer. So each and every one of these girls, including Aaliyah, wanted to be in the industry. Things you do. It's casting couches. This isn't just in the music industry. This is exactly the way that we treated black women back in the 90s and the 2000s when it came to hip hop. Look at the videos. Look at
they wasn't naked in the videos.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The rappers?
The rappers wasn't the rap
girls was not naked.
The video vixens, the After Dark on BET, when they doing all this? Thank you.
That started, but hold on. If you want to go, the rapper stole that from the rock people.
I'm not saying no. I'm talking about music. I'm talking about music in general. I hate to say it like this, but maybe it's a little bit more expected in white branded music. Listen to me. Maybe because if anything happens like with it, I'll give it to you like this, like a Unabomber situation, or somebody went out there and did a random shooting. The first thing out of a black person's mouth is, God, please don't let them be black. Because more than likely they're white. There's white people that go out and do big terrorism.
That's not us.
Exactly. So I guess I can only speak for myself. In my thought process, I'm thinking, yeah, it makes, if you really look back in music history, yes, everywhere is misogyny. There's sexual abuse against women in songs, and it's okay. It's not okay, but it's accepted.
That's everything, though. That's entertainment, not just songs. But it's movies, everything.
What this, I guess, going back to the on the record thing, what this was bringing out is that this stuff was was happening to black women too, and it wasn't being brought upon out in the community because they were constantly being told that this is what it was, that this is the way things are done. And then you also have to take, if I fight again, this is Russell Simmons. So this is where I understood her big time. This is Russell Simmons. Regardless of what she did in the music industry, she is not Russell Simmons. You feel what I'm saying? So for her to even come out with her story is what is she gaining from it? Nothing. As far as monetary, she's not out here to do this. She's trying to gain in herself and maybe help others, because other women have come out because of Russell. I think he needs to go to court. I think he needs to have his day in court. I think the evidence needs to come through. That I do think.
That ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not, because Russell has money. Russell has money. Russell has money. Russell has money.
Yeah, but you gotta this is what I'm saying. Like I'm not a fault. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them people that point fingers.
Nah, I won't say it'll never happen because Bill Cosby's in jail.
It ain't.
And I'm not saying it'll never happen.
It ain't.
Look, I'm telling you, there's going to be more coming out. Why? If you get an opportunity, watch it. I think it's on HBO Max or something like that. But watch it, so that you can maybe understand exactly where I'm coming from as far as these women, as silent as black women have to be, because we have to be. That's the culture. Is ride or die. So when these things that do happen within our homes or our communities to our women, instead of being rallied around, a lot of them are being vilified. And I'm not talking about your personal family, because what you're doing with your family is great. I'm talking about the community as a whole. We don't have that sense of community anymore, and it really goes back to that as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said. I'm not a point of finger. I'm not the you, see, she, say. You know what I'm saying? I'm a realist. You understand what I'm saying? Like I try to see it from all angles. And if you a fucked up dude, you a fucked up dude. Trust me. If you a fucked up female, you a fucked up female. Trust. I'm gonna carry them both the same way. But at the same time, like, people kind of know what they're doing, and they manipulate themselves into a situation. Then when this I'm gonna tell you, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of the stuff goes at the waistline, because when you keep like the old nursery rhymes, that's what they need to bring back, nursery rhymes. Motherfucker, keep wolf. Everybody's preparing.
Crying wolf.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's preparing because you keep saying wolf. Then they like, man, fuck that bitch. Now you saying wolf and the wolf really there. We all get ate. Is what the nursery rhyme was saying. So what happens is it's a lot of vindictive people.
But she didn't.
I'm not talking about her. You making it about. I'm just talking about as a whole. It's been a lot of vindictive women. It's been a lot of vindictive. No. I'm not going. Let me finish my point. All right, can I finish my point? You got vindictive women. You got vindictive men. So if a vindictive women keep blah 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 blah, they're not going to believe it. If a man keeps saying blah 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 blah, eventually they're not going to believe it. And that's what's happening.
Okay, so what dudes and what females do you know that have said multiple times somebody has either raped them or they have raped somebody multiple times? Ain't
nobody going to tell me, because if
exactly.
But if you're talking about for me, because if somebody in my family told me that, I'm going to jail. That's the difference. I can't talk about nobody else. None of my nieces. And they on here, none of my cousins, my sister, my aunt would ever tell me that, because they know whoever they tell me, I ain't even asking no questions. He's getting murdered right then. I'll go to jail. That passion just goes for your family and not for other black women. I mean, anybody that say, if I don't know you, like, why would I kill somebody if I don't know you? I don't even know you.
I'm not asking you to kill.
I'm
not asking you. I'm asking you first and foremost for believability, because that's what's a lot in
especially.
I'm not going to say who. No.
My passion go for both sides. Like if any female, if you first came to me and you was like, oh, my boyfriend was doing this, my boyfriend was doing that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to feel some type of way. I'm going to get in my zone.
Uncle Tom was doing this or doing that.
I'm going to feel some type of way. But the thing, I can't.
Or Aunt B was doing this or doing that, because women are not immune to that either. Women abuse as well.
But understand this is what I'm going to do. I can't speak for nobody. If you come to me, I'm going to make sure you cool. First and foremost. Then I'm going to check Aunt B. Off the rip. Somebody going to tell me something like, what the fuck going on? I'm not one of them. If you be like, well, don't tell nobody because Aunt B said, no, you shouldn't have told me. If you told me, it's coming out that day.
And that's that again,
day is coming out.
100% in agreement with the way that you would handle things, because that's the way that it should be handled.
But that's what I'm saying about the crying wolf. If you not telling nobody, this is what I'm saying. If you not telling nobody, if all this is happening to you and you not saying nothing at all, you can't be mad at me because nothing got done. How you mad at me? What I do?
I don't. Well, first and foremost, who's mad at what?
I'm just
It's
saying.
not
I'm
a
talking about
mad
the crying
thing.
wolf. Like if
That's
it's,
not-
if
well,
it's all
you're-
said and done, if it's all, it's like that stuff happened in the '80s. If you
I
talk
don't-
about it
but
in 2010, there's nothing you can do about it.
Has
It's
something
too
ever
late.
happened to you that let me just say, and you don't have to tell me what it is, but has something ever happened to you that has changed the course of your life? That was a traumatic experience that may have changed the exact course of your life.
Many of
Either
things.
it be a death, either not many. Not, I'm talking about something. I need you to understand how huge it is to be violated and raped. Okay, I need you to, and I'm understanding that has never happened to you. Okay, so it has happened to me. Okay, that's in understanding that, you will understand why I say, as a black woman, and as I see in black women and in the community, that we may feel less than, is because if we do go tell in our communities, we are either being dragged by women in the families.
True.
We are being threatened. We could lose our jobs, our homes, our children.
True.
Yes, people are vindictive. And I will not even take away, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say there are some trifling ass people out there that will say something ignorant to get someone in trouble. I get that. But that is a very small percentage to the statistics about what is not even reported at all.
That's my point.
That comes within the family too. You have to have a comfortable place to land. And that also, the reason why I said you don't understand, if you've never been in that situation, you would never understand the innards of it. I didn't tell somebody right away. Okay. I was molested as well by my stepdad. Okay. I didn't tell my mom right away. I was scared to freaking death. You know why? Because he was beating the shit out of my mother. You know, he was also beating the shit out of me. So and I didn't want to rock the boat. He was doing things to me. I told her later. I wish I would have told her, but I was 14 years old. You know, I was 14 years old. I was scared. I wasn't even living in this country. So I'm over in another country where I don't have no family but my mother. So I couldn't rock the boat.
Understandable.
You know, when I did tell, now I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've been through therapy, so we cool with it now. I love my mama, okay? But at the time I told her, my mom, for whatever reason she was going through, did not believe me. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that's why I said the way that you would handle it within your family was the way I wish it was handled in mine, but it wasn't. Not till later. Okay? Not till later was I able to be able to handle that. But do I think that changed the course of my life? Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's major.
You know, and that's why I'm saying, if you can't grasp, you know, you can do, our first instinct is to protect our families. I know I would.
Some people not protectors though.
Yeah, but it depends on where you fall at there as well. Exactly. But it also depends on the situation. I used to blame my mom. Now I don't. He was a sick motherfucker that shouldn't have been putting his hands on a kid.
Period.
And he was also in a level of authority because he was my stepdad. Yeah. You know? And so these are all other levels that made it hard for me to even tell anybody about that. You know, actually until I got into therapy.
That's when most of the time.
You know, and that was later on in life.
Yeah, that's
you
when
know.
it comes
So
out.
no charges could be pressed. Nothing could be. I didn't want anything done to him. Some people need to have that closure. Me being able to. Some people feel they should pay.
I do.
Whenever that if it's proven that happened, then yes, they should pay. But you can't. First and foremost, you can't fault a woman for when it is her time to speak.
No,
you
I
can't fault her. So if she doesn't come out, I hate when people say, well, why didn't they say nothing? It's 10 years, it's 15 years. Because you're not living her life. You're not understanding what she's having to push down just to make it through.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yes, exactly. We have that because especially in our communities, we do hold our men, I think, up to a higher pedestal than our women because we automatically are assumed to be strong. We are automatically, that's the strong black women. We are automatically assumed to be strong.
That's
which
what they
doesn't
market y'all
leave a
as.
lot of room for us to be vulnerable.
Exactly. That's what they
and then
market
if
y'all
we
as.
do come to you, a lot of I've seen in communities, a lot of times it's either shunned away or we don't talk about it because that's why I keep bringing back like Uncle Tom, you know. Uncle Tom's touching her, Aunt B's touching her, you know. A lot of this sexual violence is happening within the families. It's not always about somebody snatching your child and putting them in the sex trade. What about the sex trade that's happening in your own damn families?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot, but I mean that's not going to be solved like now. It's a lot of trauma out there. Like,
no, it's not going to be solved right now, but we need to start something.
I mean, what I'm saying,
the
like,
journey of 1,000 steps starts with one.
I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, like I said, I'm talking in a whole. I can't talk. I'm not strong enough to do everything for everybody's been through trauma. You're not going to
But
meet.
that's not your job either. What I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to meet somebody who hasn't been through nothing traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
I don't know about you. The people.
There's a lot of different people in this world.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the people. I'm not going to go out my way. Like, I ain't going to go all of a sudden start hanging with a whole bunch of.
When you blow up and you start moving around this country like you was before, you meet different people.
Yeah, but I don't know them though. If I meet them, I don't know. I'm not going to have no. I'm not the type of person like the first day I meet you, I'm going to sit down. How you doing there, John? Man,
No.
How you doing, John? I'm going to move it. I don't know you. I'm going to keep you. I got to know you for me to open up and talk to you. So if something happened to you, something happened to you. But I'm talking about the people that I feel comfortable around. And I'm not talking about traumatic where it's something like rape or nothing like that. Like my first traumatic experience was being next to somebody who got shot in the head. I'm running.
Heck yeah, that's traumatic.
Exactly. I'm on the fence. He on the fence. He get hit. He drops.
That's what I meant by traumatic.
But this what I'm saying. Like when you were saying, I've been through, but I said many. That was the first. Like I've been through traumatic shit.
Yes, but okay, and that is traumatic, but that's not rape. I've never been beside somebody that was shot in the head. I will give you that, but
that's almost murder. If the bullet would have swayed a second.
Rape to me is murder. You took without asking me.
I feel you, but you, because that's your trauma. Is what I'm saying.
Right,
but you can't shoot the next person trauma because of your trauma.
No, I'm not saying.
Yes, you are. You're saying your traumatic is I never been shot at. Okay. But but the people that's getting shot at, that's traumatic because you might not make it out that situation. So in his mind, he's being like you.
Trauma is trauma. That's why I said there's no difference. You had trauma, but like I will never understand what it's like to stand of right now. Thank the good Lord that I hopefully will never understand what it's like to be in your shoes in that situation. I feel bad for you, but and I hope you would never ever. No, and
that's what I'm saying. You keep saying but.
No,
but rape is rape. That's what you're trying to say. Rape is rape.
It's too total. I'm talking about as far because I can't speak on you. You speaking on you, and I'm speaking on me. And on me, it changed the projection. I know I'm saying this wrong. I'm trying to sound smart, but probably not. It changed the trajectory. Of my life.
Exactly.
You know. And that was not the only time it happened to me. So it's, could I have been different if that didn't stunt?
You could have.
You can't minimize trauma.
Exactly.
No, and on any aspect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, like I said, I'm going to try to do a show where I can have people in here, maybe a therapist or something, and then we can talk about that. Because trauma is trauma. Like I said, I'm not a finger pointer. That's not me. I'm not the finger pointer. But I'm the type that I try to look at things, you know what I'm saying, from a whole. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to everything. When it comes to my immediate circle, I'm a whole different animal. That's the only way I can speak up. Like, it's not no motherfucking. It ain't like America. We not voting. If somebody in my sister, cousins, nieces, if they come to me, it's not a vote. It's gonna get handled. But outside of that, I gotta stand back and think, because at the same time, it's puppet masters out there. It's people out there that use me. Like, okay, let's say I know. Okay, Chuck shit, if we tell Chuck that, Chuck gonna go ahead and do something to do. So let me go ahead and make something up. That's what I'm talking about. It's manipulators in every situation. They'll use me. They'll use my emotions against me because they know how I'm going to react. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying they right or wrong, but you gotta play yourself for that. So the stories you hear, sometimes you gotta sit back like, oh, all right,
well,
let me find out first.
If it's somebody, of course it's going to hit different if it's somebody that you know to somebody that you don't know.
Exactly.
Like, even though the Breonna Taylor situation is a horrible thing for us, for this country, for her family or whatever, she's not, I don't know her personally, but I can still empathize with her family situation.
Exactly.
Just like I can empathize with your situation.
Exactly. I can empathize with yours too.
That's what may be missing is empathy.
Yeah, I mean,
you know. But of course you're going to, like I said, of course you're going to ride harder for yours than you are for anybody else's. But there's also passion behind it as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, to make a change, if you want to make a change for everyone.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But it starts with a conversation. We having this conversation,
exactly.
And like I said, we both talking and not listening to each other, which is cool. That's why I said I actually do know a therapist. Mom, I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna try to get you on the show.
That'd be a great.
So some people can talk about, you know what I'm saying. We could talk about trauma when it come to that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we should talk about all the PTSD because that's
I got PTSD too because if something went pop, I'm turning around now.
It should not be. I think it should definitely not be a stigma in our community to talk about mental health. Mental health is very, very important, and when things happen to you in your life, you have to be able to have a place to land somewhere, family, friend, something.
Yeah.
Get help. I'm just
we definitely, like I said,
get help if you having some issues.
Mama, if you on here, mom number 2, you already know. Already reached out to you. You said to call you after October 4th because we already had a planned show for mental health. So that's definitely. So when we do that, you know what I'm saying. Anybody that's on here, if you got a question that you wanted to be asked, or you know what I'm saying, or you want to talk about whatever you want to do, let me know and I can make sure you in the studio. You know what I'm saying? So you can speak like Ashley, as you still can hear the mics is up. So if you ask a question in the studio, you'll be heard, and maybe she can answer your question or get you on the path to, discovering something or sitting down and talking about it. Because at the end of the day, you gotta have somebody you can get that off your chest. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when I was talking about my man R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? Because I could sit there and listen to R. Kelly and talk. It's like being crazy, but I talked out loud. You know what I'm saying? And weighed my options, and it made me not so mad. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just reacting, because if I'd have just reacted, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all ever seen The Godfather. That's what got Sonny killed. If you watch The Godfather, he was the hot-headed son, but he was supposed to take over the mafia. But the other group knew he was hot-headed, so he paid somebody to beat up his sister. When the dude beat up his sister, he went to go kill a dude. When he go through the booth, they murdered him in the booth. They had all the killers in the booth because they knew he was going to react out of emotions. And that's all I'm saying. Sometimes you got to sit back because it's easy to play somebody.
Of course, you shouldn't just go off the cuff. You should.
When you angry, you do. When you angry, something happens to you, and if you're a hothead, you gonna be
angry. Hey. When your inhibitions is low.
Yeah. So that's just
flying.
with that. All right. Well, like I said, we went all the way into some things. I mean, if you still want to talk about something like that, you can DM me and say whatever you want to say. Did you have something to say, Ashley? All right, if you got anything else to say, you got anything else to add to this?
I do. Vote local.
Yeah, that's
what you guys. Please get out there, register to vote. I think EARN's doing something. EARN is doing something on October the 3rd.
The 3rd, yeah.
So that I think it's a registration drive, and then there's going to be some stuff out there.
But it's going to be some church stuff out there.
Please take a look at your local candidates. These are the people that make the laws for you here locally. Please pay attention to your local candidates.
And that's even the people that's not in Washington County, outside of, you know what I'm saying?
Vote, bruh.
Yeah, the people that's outside of Washington County that watch here, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you voting local, you know what I'm saying? See who you need to be voting for to make sure they change the laws and they hold up the laws that's in your area. And with that being said, that's another episode. We are out.